In this fall, man, it's very tough. And this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Well, it's not the decision we wanted to hear, but it's the one LeBron James made, and like it or not, we have to live with it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Indians Tonight. I'm Dave Chudowski. We'll get to the Tribe later, but with this week being a week like we have never seen before, we're going to do things a bit different tonight. Tonight, it's a LeBron James, Dan Gilbert, Cavaliers future roundtable discussion. Here are the three kings: LeBron, Wade, Bosh. This was Friday night. Really, I was kind of wondering if I was watching a movie, maybe waiting for Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and Stone Cold to come out for a three-man tag team match. Anyway, LeBron James is now in South Beach.
It feels right, and to be in this position, to wear this Heat uniform.
You know, it's just like Bird joining the Lakers or Magic joining the Celtics. Just wouldn't happen.
We're looking forward and moving forward. As far as what he was thinking or what happened or how he handled this process, he's a free agent. He has every right to handle the process however he likes.
Okay, there you have it. Now it's time for the round table, and I have some great guests in. You've seen him on the show plenty of times. Bob Finnan from the News Herald, beat writer for the Cavaliers. Andre Knott from WTAM. He has been talking to you all week, well, geez, for a couple months now. Dennis Maniloff, D-Man from The Plain Dealer, the only guy I've had on the show to predict LeBron James would leave. Bob, you did predict he'd leave, then you flip-flopped. I'm sorry, you lose. LeBron left. Anyway, guys, you know, we could start a lot of different directions, but simply, did LeBron James make the right choice?
Well, he probably made the right choice for him, but I just didn't like how he made that choice.
I think a lot of people agree with you on that, Bob. Andre, do you tend to agree with that? Or
depending upon who LeBron James wants to be. I mean, if he wants to go win championships and wants to do it this way, then sure, he made the right decision for himself. The process, though, I think will never change exactly how we feel about him, though.
D-Man.
He made the right decision if he wants to win championships. I mean, all he's been told for 7 years is you got to win, you got to win, you got to win. You tell me that Miami Heat opportunity is not a beautiful opportunity to win rings.
Andre, I mean, do you buy that?
I don't buy it completely when he sold a completely different bill of goods, though, for 7 seasons. You're right. He has been told for the last 7 years, you do have to win championships. I think Byron Scott's quote is perfect. And
I think Grant's quote is perfect.
Grant's is perfect as well, because they did deserve it. Because once you do go through free agency, you deserve to do what you want to do. But when you sell yourself as this guy that's wanted to mimic Michael Jordan and players of that ilk, you don't do that.
D-Man, we heard in The Plain Dealer, we read the article, a good article about the fact that this thing was in the works. So basically, what that article is telling me is that LeBron just didn't have his Cheerios and talk to his mom and make the decision that morning. None of us are buying that. I mean, do you believe all this? I mean, how do you see it?
No, I got the sense when he said he woke up that morning, Thursday morning, and he was assured that it was the right call, that he had thought about it a long time and then just slept on it and said, yeah, it's the right call. Sure, it was in the works for a while, but what's the harm there? I mean, there was nothing illegal done as far as we know, or, against the rules. I don't have a problem if these guys were hatching this potential thing 2 years ago. How are you going to stop them from doing that? When they get together at the Olympics and sit down and say, gee, it'd be kind of neat to play together one day. What, is that going to be outlawed? You can't have that discussion? So they set things up to where they could do that, and now everybody, oh, how could this happen? Well, it happened as under the rules.
Bob, I think a lot of people are upset because they question now LeBron's character, and they're maybe surprised by this. You covered the guy as much as anybody did. Did you see a different LeBron James? Did the guy change since the first time maybe you met him?
Well, I think he did toward the end, and my contention is Dan Gilbert deserved a phone call. I mean, those guys bent over backwards for this guy through the years. You know, they let him break rules. I mean, he set practice schedules. I mean, it was just crazy, some of the things. The one time he had to go on Saturday Night Live, they kind of canceled practice or altered practice so he could go. I mean, things like that through the years. All I know is on Tuesday I was working on a story that LeBron was trying to recruit Chris Bosh here, and then 2 days later he's gone, totally gone. So I don't know what happened there, but I do think this thing was in the works for quite some time.
Andre, do you think that, I mean, obviously we know LeBron was protected here. He had a good group around him. Do you think as time goes on we're going to find some skeletons that are in the closet that maybe there's some things we didn't know about LeBron James?
I think everyone has skeletons in the closet at some point in time, and I think everyone's going to try to find his at this point in time because of how the situation went down. I think part of the reason there's so much skepticism now towards what happened, it's kind of what Bob said. I think a lot of us have known for years, and this happens everywhere. I'm not just pointing at LeBron. But there's been a lot of things that have happened that have worked out his way, whether it's friends working for the team or different things that have gone behind the scenes, whether it's wearing the wrong uniform and getting fined for it. Every owner is not going to be willing to do that and get along with that, and I think that's the part where it was kind of a slap in the face. But it's saying that Dan Gilbert, you know, you can't yell and scream 2 hours later when you were just getting ready to get a guy $125 million as well.
Yeah, and we'll get to Gilbert here in a little bit. But D-Man, can LeBron James will he be forgiven in Cleveland? Can the guy come home?
Not anymore. I mean, based on what we're going to talk about soon. You know, I had held out hope.
But I mean, just living here, living in Akron, can he come back here?
I wish he could, because he'd be paying taxes in this area, which desperately needs money. But unfortunately, the climate, and this is one of the reasons why I'm just kind of going, wait a minute, this is over the top criticism, because you'd like to see the guy come back. He is only the greatest player in the history of the franchise.
True.
That's it.
Okay, yeah, true.
You know,
but in saying all that, and Bob was with me throughout this past week. This is a guy that had a camp and basically worked out with half the Cavaliers team the last week. There was just a lot of things that led up to the decision on Thursday night that just make you go, if you're leaving, why would you kind of keep pulling these people along? Why would you continue going to the University of Akron and using their facility and doing those? I think that's not the right character of a person at the end of the day.
I think they set the wheels in motion on that whole program, the whole hour-long decision thing. And once that die was cast, then he had to stay mum. Otherwise, what's the point of the show? You know, he can't, pull somebody aside at his camp and go, hey, I'm going here, but let's play out the next 3 days. He had to remain mum. And yes, it looked bad in retrospect when everything played out.
D-Man, if you were in that situation, you would not tag along and bring along friends and keep pulling people along if you knew that you were going to do this to your own hometown city.
But I'm not LeBron James.
And that's what I'm saying in character. And most people that have any type of character, of high standard of character, you're going to treat people with some sort of respect when you're getting ready to walk out the door. I think that's all anybody was asking. If you were leaving, fine, no problem. But at least do it in a way that's civil and with some respect towards the people that you've been around.
I'm not saying he didn't do this in an unseemly manner. I'm just saying.
Well, we're just treading water now. I think we all agree.
We don't have to go.
Yeah,
over
we agree with all
point.
that. But guys, we got to move on now, because up next on the roundtable, Dan Gilbert and his reaction: a good move or not, and what is next for the Cavs. We'll be right back.